Hi, all the parents out there, raise your hand if your kids like to play video games. Now raise your other hand if you want your kids to do well in math. Okay, a lot of hands up. We are Motion Math. My name is Jacob. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm really excited to show you some of our games today, some of the ways that we are making math learning more interactive, more fun, more visual, more engaging. The first game that I want to show you is called Motion Math Hungry Fish. It starts really simply. There's a 3, a fish. It's a hungry fish. You want to feed the 3 to your fish. And this company started as my co-founder and my master's project at the Stanford School of Education. One thing that we think a lot about is metaphor. What is the right metaphor to teach a concept? So what is addition? Bringing two things together on the touch screen instantly adds it together. This is something that was never before possible with textbooks, flashcards, even the web. The touch screen allows new interactions that make concepts more intuitive. So that's the intro that I've just passed. And now the game is finding all the different ways to make a 12, for example. This is a fish that just eats 12s. 9 and 3, 2 and 10. And most math worksheets would say 6 plus 6 equals what? One right answer. Here we flipped it. The answer is 12, and there's many different paths to make that sum. So it's a visual way to see addition, and it's showing all the different ways to add numbers together. The next game I want to show you is actually our latest game, a multiplication game called Motion Math Wings. It's a tilt-based game. You tilt your iPad or iPhone or iPod Touch back and forth, and the game mechanic is very simple. Fly to what's more. What is more? Again, this is an interaction with the accelerometer, never before possible. Very intuitive, very young children can start to play this game. So let's see, 18's bigger. 6 times 5, 25. Now most math games would stop here just with symbols, numbers, just symbolic. What we want to do in this game is actually make math more visual, more interactive, to help kids who don't yet have a concept for what multiplication is. So here we bring in a visual of a grid that shows what 10 times 7 means. Here I'll get it wrong. Oh, whoops. Here I'll get it wrong. Show you that you get another chance. Here's another way to express multiplication. 5 groups of something. And as the game goes on, it covers 6 different visualizations of multiplication. All these different ways that will help kids actually get a grounding for what 4x8 actually means. I'll show you one more. This is our game, Motion Math Zoom. A lot of research about how important the number line is. And in this game, you have to find where a number belongs on the number line. That's where 3 goes. Here's where 5 goes. Kids really like that frog. 10 back here. And young kids, this is a great level for young kids just learning their numbers. And it's called Motion Math Zoom because of what you'll see here. 15. Where does 15 go? Well, it goes right here. Doesn't let me. And the fingers show that actually we're using here the tilt, the pinch mechanism on a touch screen. You pinch to open it up. This is the most interactive number line ever made. And the frogs here are counting by 1s. Dogs are counting by 10s. The game goes up all the way to, you'll see here, counting by 10s by dogs, by rhinos, counting by hundreds, and then all the way up to thousands with dinosaurs. And the animals really help kids understand different orders of magnitude. It makes scale very concrete. So one thing that we've learned is to clarify our learning goals. It's not enough to just say we want to make a multiplication game. To be more specific, to really define that in that game we wanted to allow kids to see different representations of multiplication was really helpful for our design process and to know when we were succeeding. today I'm really excited to announce two things. One is that we've reached 1 million downloads of all of our games. And the other is that we're going to be coming out this summer with our first game ever for younger kids, children 2 to 6. It's a prequel to the fish game that I showed you. I'll show it for the first time right now. It's called Hungry Guppy. That is... So this is how a 2-year-old can start to practice addition. It's not numbers, it's just dots. But even very young kids understand that 1 dot plus 1 dot makes 2 dots. And this is a fish that just wants to eat 2 dots. There's a misconception that kids have to know their numbers before they can start to understand addition. It's not true. And the game moves from just dots to then mixing dots and numerals, as you see here. 1 dot and 1 make 2. And then progresses up to where our game Hungry Fish starts with just numbers, 1 and 1. So we've seen that very young kids can play Hungry Fish. They like the interaction. They love the fish. Now we're creating a prequel game that allow them to master these very important basic math skills.
Awesome.
Great.
Let's hear it for Motion Math. Okay, feedback from our panel. What do you think?
I like these kind of games. I have a young son. He's just about 2. One of the things I really struggle with, and I'd love to hear your answer, is how do you decide, which games, because there's a lot of these in the store, right? But how do you really decide, and how are you guys, differentiating? Because I can go in there and I'll probably find 1,000 math apps, right?
Sure. Well, we've been, all of our games have been featured by Apple. That's been helpful. There's also an increasing number of sites and blogs out there recommending, what are the most quality ones out there, and we really put a lot of attention into our design and our art to make them stand out.
Is there an opportunity beyond all of that to create almost a marketplace that
Yeah, absolutely. And there's several companies in that space trying to be the Pandora for kids apps.
Along those lines, how do you get really big? I think there is a problem with sort of app differentiation. If you get featured by the Apple Store, you get the big bump and then you just sort of decline unless you keep releasing new apps all the time.
We've actually found that educational games are a little different from most games out there that have that very quick fall off, in part because there's always a new group of 4th graders that need to learn fractions. And because we're providing more than just the 5-minute Angry Birds diversion. So we've actually seen more steady. There is a bump when you're first released, but we've seen more steady sales.
Yeah, are you guys doing anything or thinking of doing any platform plays so that you can help bridge from app to app as kids get older?
Absolutely.
So yeah, can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first we found that by focusing on number sense, really math's foundations, our games reach all the way from 4-year-old all the way up through middle schoolers. Even we have some advanced levels to challenge adults. So we are able to have apps that can grow with a kid over a long time. And then we have some plans in the future on how we're going to integrate the whole suite together and really show that learning path.
Right.
What's better about you guys and your games and your team versus all these other education apps?
I think a big differentiator is that we're showing we're really aiming for conceptual knowledge. It's not just digital flashcards. We're showing visuals, we're showing metaphors that really help kids understand the concept, not just that surface level of memorization. That would be one big differentiator.
It seems like the iPad has not been out for very long, right? And it's already quite well adopted among parents who can afford it. Where's that going? Is everyone going to have one of these?
It really is a revolutionary device for younger kids especially. The keyboard, the mouse was a real impediment for them having a fluid experience. So I don't know if it'll be iPads, but I do think the tablet and the touchscreen for younger kids especially is here to stay, and there's a lot of opportunities to redesign the learning because of the new technology that we have.
Great. Awesome. Well done. Let's hear it from Motion Math. Well done.